Mood, your mood. It is the thing that is the most important for you to take a handle on. Am I saying that correctly? Is that correct English? Well, I hope you know what I mean. Your mood when you are unbothered and you are in control of how you feel at any time, no matter what anyone does or doesn't do, no matter how they behave. It doesn't phase you because you are steady within yourself. You are balanced. You have this joy for life because you say so. It doesn't matter if you're on your period. It doesn't matter if you have hot flashes because of menopause. It doesn't matter that you broke a nail, that you just had a fight with someone. None of it matters because you know that your mood is the one thing that dictates your life experience. Because at every point in time, you are in a mood. You are in a chill mood, in a peaceful mood. You are in an agitated mood. You are in a stressful mood. You are always in some kind of a mood. And your mood determines how you vibrate, what your frequency is. And we know that frequency precedes form. We know that our vibration determines our life experience. Because, as Bashar says, you cannot perceive what you are not the vibration of. And mood is just a different word for how you vibe, what frequency you're operating at. I'm going to give you a couple of practices. I think there are 7, might be 8. We'll see what comes up and what comes through. Because sometimes when I'm talking, more things come through, or I forget about stuff, and then I will share it at another point. I'm going to give you, I think, 7 practices that will assist you in becoming super unbothered, which is kind of the hype word at the moment. But we all know what we mean with unbothered. People that are unbothered are in a mood of, yeah, whatever. I feel good. You can do whatever. Yes, you can cut me off in traffic. You probably have a bad day. I'm not going to get my panties in a twist because you don't feel well. I feel amazing and I want to keep it that way because I know that everything comes from and through me, and you can do whatever you want. And that is gold. So, how do you get there? First of all, don't sweat the small stuff. Actually, also don't sweat the big stuff. But don't sweat the small stuff means do not get all worked up about literally nothing. Learn to tread lightly. There's this amazing poem by Aldous Huxley, and I will end this video with this poem. And it speaks to lightly, lightly, child, lightly. Things don't have to be so heavy. The second practice is, and this is actually a fun one. Keep in mind, by the way, I think they're all fun, but keep in mind that you will get really uncomfortable at times. You will get hot flashes because you are not used to doing the things that I'm going to ask you to do because you're used to probably people pleasing. And people pleasing behavior has nothing to do with being in control of your mood. It has everything to do with trying to manage the mood of everyone around you so that you can feel good. But we're not doing that anymore. So, the second practice is I want you to have your WhatsApp notifications on or another messaging platform. And I want you to not respond to anyone immediately. I want you to take at least half a day, maybe a whole day before you respond. And you can even choose not to read the messages or to turn your notifications off. This will be, if you're used to responding quickly, this will be extremely uncomfortable at first. Unbothered people, people that are in control of their mood, are also in control of when they respond to whatever. And sometimes you just don't feel like it. Slow is the way to go. We don't have to rush, and hustle is really 500 years ago. Slow down to speed up, which is actually paradoxically really true. Okay, practice number 3. I want you in the morning when you have your coffee in a cafe to take your time placing your order. And not only that, take your time. You don't have to go excruciatingly slow, but just take your time. Don't rush paying. Being really friendly to the barista. Look them in the eye, or the person at the register who is probably really stressed because there's a queue and it's early and it's important because coffee is important. Yes, but it's also not surgery, right? So let's just not sweat the small stuff. Take your time and be comfortable feeling really uncomfortable taking your time. Okay, practice number, is it 3? Oh my goodness, counting is hard. I'm not even going to number them. I'm just going to say the next practice and I'll just assume that you're keeping count. So the next practice is when you find yourself in a situation that you are too late for your appointment, I want you to, first of all, not rush, because rushing can get you into really dangerous situations over nothing. And I know, and you know, that you take chances in traffic that are ridiculous just because you're too late or you're almost on time. No appointment is worth losing a leg over. No appointment. Even if you were the heart surgeon that has to be at their appointment quickly because you're performing open heart surgery. Because when you lose a leg, no one is going to do that surgery. So, no rushing and actually take it slower because it's super uncomfortable. You want to be a good boy, a good girl. You want to be in time for your appointment. But you know what? It is your own responsibility and fault, probably, that you're too late. I don't like to use the word fault, but for lack of a better term, It is on you that you're too late. So now take responsibility for it. Take your time. Go through the discomfort because it will be uncomfortable. Breathe. Slow yourself down. Arrive at your appointment. Say once, I'm sorry that I'm late, and that's it. No groveling, no excessive, profusely apologizing. It's not necessary. And so, two things will happen. You will stay in your center because you decided, like, okay, you accepted the situation, and because it's so uncomfortable, it won't happen again. Or maybe it will happen again, and you won't make such a big deal out of it next time. It's just an appointment and you're a little too late. So don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, next practice. You are invited to a party and you do not want to go. You have a couple of options. You can be the nice girl, the nice guy, and say that you're coming while you really do not feel like it. Or you can just be honest and say, to be honest, I really feel like having a wonderful night with my guy, with my girl, with myself, with my dog, with my cat. No over explaining, no profusely apologizing, just taking ownership of what you want. You don't have to be an asshole about it. And you don't have to be a victim about it. Victim is not really the right word, but you don't have to be the, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I for my life want to do what's good for me. Exactly. It's your life and you want to do what's good for you. And if the person that invites you doesn't really like you anymore because of it, do you really still want them in your life? No, you don't need people like that in your life. And if they're disappointed, yes, can happen. And if you're doing it, if you're afraid to say no because then they won't come to your party, okay, then you definitely have to learn to say no because that's just called bullshit. That has nothing to do with friendship or anything. You want authentic relationships. You don't want relationships that are built on, I do something for you, so you do something for me. No, that has nothing. That's not a relationship. I don't even know what you call that. That's just called a manipulationship. So stop that. Then another party situation. So this is another practice. This is another party situation. You say yes to a party that you actually really look forward to. But then come the day, you really do not want to go for whatever reason. All reasons are valid reasons. And you decide not to go. And maybe you send a message, maybe you don't. That's all up to you. And you see the person that was throwing the party who obviously missed you at the party. And they want an explanation. Don't give them an explanation because you don't owe anyone an explanation. The only explanation that is needed is, I didn't feel like it at the day of the party. I hope you had a great time. You don't have to apologize, and I actually challenge you not to apologize. I think we're all too used to apologizing for stuff that we don't have to apologize for. Again, because we want to be nice people. But truly, do we want to be nice people? Or do we want to be people in charge of our own lives and our own moods and our own energies? It might sound a bit like being an asshole, right? But maybe unbothered is being an asshole. And there's nothing wrong with being an asshole, even though it sounds a bit interesting, the word asshole. But you know what? There's just too much blame and shame going on. And blame and shame has one function, and the function is manipulation. And unbothered people are not easily manipulated. And when you're not easily manipulated, you are in charge of your energy and your life experience. And all of this is going to be really uncomfortable at first. And that's just something that you're going to have to go through to get to the point that you are someone who is in control of their own mood, their own energy, and their own life experience. Because at the end of the day, who is laying in your bed and is having the thoughts that are going through your head? Not all of the people that you deal with throughout the day. You, you with you. And when you decide to take care of number one first, your oxygen mask on, then you will have such a wonderful relationship with yourself. And from that wonderful relationship with yourself, the relationships that belong in your life will automatically stay or move into your life. Because when you look at it, we don't need hundreds of people in our lives. We need a couple of people that we can trust, that we have fun with, that understand us. And that's all that we truly need. And everyone that is not okay with us being how we want to be doesn't belong there anyway. Okay, next exercise. This one might sound a bit counterintuitive, but hear me out. Stop asking people for explanations. You do not need to know why Harry, Dick, and Tom did what they did. You don't have to have any explanation. They don't owe you, first of all. And second of all, wanting to have an explanation is actually because your mind is chewing on something, is making something mean something, and you are doing it. You are doing it from your belief system, from your mood, from your state of being. When you are unbothered, you don't care what the reason was. If you want to have explanations, you know that you are at that moment in the business of wanting the other person to make you feel good. And that has nothing to do with unbothered. That's being super bothered. And that's looking for some kind of a validation of, okay, you want to find some kind of an answer to make you feel that you matter. No, no, no. We're not in the game of psychology. We're in the game of conscious creation. One of the recent videos I made, I said that if you're looking for explanations, you're actually sucker punching yourself, because you will find the reasons that you actually do not want. all of this psychology stuff, this happened because of that, and that happened because of that, because that person had that type of father growing up, and then no, you don't need any of that stuff. Understand you, know thyself, which actually brings me to a point. I'm going to put that video in. It's a clip that I saw on Know Thyself, a podcast from Andre Dukum with the artist Omarion. He's a very deep guy, and I actually recommend you watch the interview. So I'll put this clip somewhere towards the end of this video. And Omarion has something really amazing to say about unbotheredness. He's actually, I think they call him the king of unbothered. And he didn't get there when he fell out of his mother's hoo ha. He wasn't born unbothered. He went through a lot of stuff, and at one point, he decided to become unbothered. And he's a really wonderful and successful artist. So check out that clip as well. Which means you will have to watch the rest of this video. Then, so to reiterate, by the way, before I go to the next point. So to reiterate, do not ask anyone to explain anything to you. And the last point is understand your triggers. Because when you understand your triggers, then you know what things bother you, and you also can figure out how to become unbothered. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you have an appointment, or you have a date, not an appointment. Let's make it a date, because usually romance hits us in places that we didn't know even existed. So you have a date, and it's not a first date, it's like a third or a fourth date. And your date is late, and when they come in, they look all flustered and I wanted to make it extra, but let's just keep it at that. They're late and they look all flustered, and you have a response to that. And it's personal to everyone, and I can give you some examples here, but I'm going to leave it open. You just probably put yourself in that situation, and you had a thought come up like, oh, how would I feel? And you felt something in your body. That thing, that is worth exploring. And that botheredness tells you about you. It tells you about who you are being, where you are not feeling centered and secure within yourself. And so, and thus, where you can do with unbotheredness. If the thing is, I'm not important enough, they don't take me seriously, and that's why they're too late, then you have some work to do in the department of I'm important. And however you do that, because there are multiple ways to roam, you can do that by affirmations, you can do that by giving them less attention and focusing more on you, because it could also be that you are constantly doting and making them feel special and important, forgetting that you are the most special and important person in your life. Because none of the things that happen are random. things in your life happen so that you can learn about you. This whole game of life is designed for us to get to know ourselves. And the more we are ourselves, and we are unbothered in essence. In essence, we're all just happy babies doing a happy baby pose the whole day long. We're giddy, happy beings. We have learned to become extremely serious and extremely efforting and extremely whatnot. And we have made up all these rules about life and society and psychology and oh my God, all the ideas that we came up with. Everything is super creative, but none of it is true. And all of it is true if we believe it is. So, moral of the story, find out what you're triggered by and then use that information to stop being triggered by it and use it to become the unbothered being that you deserve to be so that everything in your life can form in an easy way and fall into place in an easy way. Because effort, as I said, is so 10 years ago. So, a last tip, and then I want to go into the Aldous Huxley poem, the lightly, lightly one. It's so beautiful. So, I don't know if you drink alcohol. I'm going to assume that you do. If you go, the next time you go to a party, I dare you not to drink any alcohol and to be with and to sit in the discomfort of being sober. For me now, it's completely normal and super easy to be sober. And I think it actually was at the moment that I decided to stop drinking alcohol because my body just didn't want it anymore. So I didn't even think of being uncomfortable because I didn't want it. My body was just like, no, no. And sometimes I do drink something, hardly, but it happens. And when I do, it's because I really feel like it. And I feel like, I don't know, like dancing, going wild and going, it's, yeah, can't really explain. It's personal to me. For you, when you are used to drinking alcohol, whenever you go out or house party, dinner party, whatever, and you drink because you want to take the edges off, I dare you not to drink anything. The thing with alcohol is this: you can't really feel yourself. You don't really know yourself. You don't get to know yourself in social situations because you drown that voice, your intuition, you drown it out with alcohol. It's like writing a letter to yourself, a handwritten note, and you literally drench it in alcohol. And have you ever received a postcard or a letter that was wet? You can't really make out what it said until you dry it, and sometimes not even after you've dried it. So dare to be sober at a dinner party. And yes, it can be really uncomfortable. And yes, you can do it. Okay, let's get into the poem. And it goes a little something like this. Lightly, 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 child, lightly. Learn to do everything lightly. Yes, feel lightly, even though you're feeling deeply. Just lightly let things happen and lightly cope with. I was so preposterously serious in those days. Lightly, lightly. It's the best advice ever given to me. To throw away your baggage and go forward. Lightly, my darling. The original poem is a bit longer. This is the shortened version, and I think it's so beautiful. And I was in a shop last year in Raglan, New Zealand, and the lady there gave me this affirmation. We had a talk, and I was emotional about something, and she said to me, "Use this affirmation. My heart is as light as a feather." So also for you, if it resonates, use it. My heart is as light as a feather. Okay, I will put Omarion's clip in at the end of this video. I wish you so much fun with you practicing your unbothered muscle, practicing being in charge of your mood. All the teachings, they all point to the same thing. Be in control of your vibration. Be in control of your mood, of your frequency, how you feel about things at every moment in time. And have grace with yourself, like a puppy that needs potty training, like a baby that's learning how to walk. I'm wishing you so much love. A fit mind creates a beautiful body and an epic life. I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Ciao.
It's not the world's job. It's not no one else's job but you to maintain your own peace and happiness. This is about emotional intelligence. This is about staying in your power. When I got nominated for a Grammy, it didn't even mean anything to me. That's how much I was not present. I didn't like that. I had to go through being disappointed, feeling betrayed. A lot of the time, we feel that life is dealing us this bad hand. If you look a little bit closer, you'll be able to appreciate those moments, because what is life without them? The power of music has allowed me to connect beyond time and space. Once you really start tapping into certain frequencies, you're able to vibrate higher. Now fans are coming up to me telling me how my music has helped them. If I'm gonna do anything, it's like that's the effect that I want. And that's why it's important to know thyself, to get to know who you are so you know who you want to be.